Welcome to another episode of the StepMum podcast. And today's video was a struggle. It rained, Nairobi rain. We were about to give up, but we said no. We were prepared to stay here until midnight. Yes. For it to stop raining. And today my guest is as determined as me. It's been a while to see someone so determined. You know, she really reminds me of when I met Mike when I was 23. I had that energy. So maybe after today it might come back. I will allow her to introduce herself. So feel free to introduce yourself to my guest.
Hello. Hi. Audience, my name is Wanjiku Karaoke Mukundi. Karaoke is my father. Karaoke is my father. Karaoke is my father. Mukundi is my husband.
Oh, Mukundi ndio husband.
Mukundi ndio husband.
Kanairo. Unaweza kuwa pia una ni karaoke ni wako.
Yes. And it's an honor being here.
Welcome.
Yes, it's an honor. Imvua leo mpaka nilikuwa like we have to do this today. We have to do this today. I am honored being here, and it's a blessing. Hey.
My first ever pregnant guest. It's been a while. Unasikiaje? Kwani kuangusha? Kesho. Huyu
tukimaliza hapa anaweza toka. Alikuwa anangoja kukuja.
Welcome. This is a blessed baby. Welcome to this episode. And today my guest is going to talk about, which is something that I have not met anyone with in the same kind of situation. She was raised in a blended family. She is in a blended family, one herself. I thought I have seen it all. I haven't. So, Shiko, if you could tell us, just give us a brief background on how you ended up being raised in a blended family and how you're in a blended family.
Okay, so how I ended up in a blended family is I lost my mom at the age of 7. For those who are my age, when we call ourselves what millennials, sisi ni millennials.
80s. Wesi wa 90.
Hapana 90 bado
90 la kufukuza kwa podcast.
Mimi ndio nilifunga 80 hapo.
Karibu nimekurudisha.
So if you remember, but I know most of the people remember during the 1998 August 7 bomb blast.
Okay.
That's when my mom passed on. She went to work and she never came back. So that is how it happened, and we were young. By then we were 3. My brother, then me, and then my younger sister. Okay. So my brother was 8, I was 7, my sister was 5.
Wow.
So my dad was left a widow, a very young man. So how I got up to being raised in a blended family, he definitely had to remarry. Lazima tu angeoa tena. So
how old was he?
I think 34.
Was a very young man.
Sana.
Alikuwa na nguvu.
Alikuwa anakaa tu mpetit. Alikuwa amezoea kutuvaa tu suti. He used to carry a briefcase. So alikuwa kijana barubaru and very handsome. Jeans alikuwa nazo. So he had to remarry. And you see, it was a traumatic event also for him, because mtu anatoka asubuhi anarudi jioni, and you know they just come and they go to work and they never come back. So that is how first I lost my mom. So we were the 4 of us. So because we were young, my dad decided to remarry. That was, I think, 2 years. No, an year. Actually, an year. Yeah. Okay. Maybe by the end of 1999.
Okay.
Yeah, because my sister from my stepmom was born in 2000. So approximately an year later, he decided to remarry. So I will say that is how I grew up. So from the age of 9, or let me give it 9. Okay. From the age of 9, that is how we got to grow up in a blended family. Yeah.
Okay. So at that age, I know sometimes we don't remember traumatic experiences, and our condolences for your mom. Do you now look back and put yourself in your father's shoes? Do you see do you understand him better? And at that time, as children, I know in our African families, sometimes no one explains to you things. I can imagine it was also a confusing moment for him. Looking back, did you get worried that your dad is marrying someone else? Will they be kind to you? Did you understand that now you're forming another new family? Or did your relatives, how was it for you? I'd want to understand, how was it for you? I've not met someone who's lost their mom when they were young. So for me, it was my dad, so it was the other way around. And women will rarely remarry. Definitely your dad remarried, but I would want to just... The 8-year-old Shiko, did you understand what was happening?
Actually, yeah, I did.
Okay.
The best thing about us is we were raised in a government estate. So I will say it's more of Nairobi because it is in Ngong town. Okay. So siwezi sema ilikuwa ushago. So we were actually a little bit smarter. Because you see, even the fact that mom used to work in ufundi sako. So as we used to come into town, so there are some things we actually knew. But now this is one of the things that I tell people, that my dad before remarrying, and it's one of the things that I have also talked to even people about it. My dad did something that was very important. My dad did not remarry. He just didn't remarry, and like we were there, and we someone came, my stepmom came to our home, and we were like, now this is your new mom. Actually no, my dad alituchukua, he went akatupeleka mahali kukula nyama, and then he told us, he actually explained to us. The interesting part about this, because I think my traumatic events is that I rarely remember 1999. To date, I tell myself, iyo mwaka I don't remember it.
Maybe you blocked because of the trauma.
Actually, I did. Na nilikuja kurealize a few years ago. I don't remember that part. But I remember before my dad actually remarried my stepmom. Ni kama alikuwa amepata mwingine mmoja. I remember her. She was really pretty.
Na sio alienda pinaye. Okay, sasa tuongelee na ule mwenye
nasema. But now that I am an adult, I think najiambia, because I remember in 2000 we went to Eldoret to that lady's home. But I think because right now that I am an adult, I know she was a young person, so I think alikuwa anatupeleka huko ndio wazazi wake wa approve. We have never had contact ever nini, but venye tulirudi kutoka kwao, she disappeared.
So your father was dating.
Ilikuwa tu ni ile auntie, si ati tumemuona ati akifanya zi. But sasa najiambianga right now, I tell myself, your time alitupeleka home, maybe wazazi wake wakamwambia. The parents told her,
the man has 3 children already.
Watoto watatu kushua na wewe ni kasichana, maybe single. Right now that I'm an adult, I know that is what exactly happened. But now I think by the time my stepmom was coming into my dad's life, I think they had already agreed. So I think my dad had already seen this is something that can actually go on. So he took us to a place in Kiserian, and I remember very well, bought us nyama choma, and then he told us, nimepata mama mwingine, and I want I will want to know if you people will want to have another mom. Definitely atakuwa tumenyimwa anything, and so we knew that it wasn't a big deal. In fact, my dad always says, kwanza mimi nilisema ni sawa, like it's okay whether you want to have or it's fine. So that is how my dad told us about my
Mr. Kariuki actually told you.
He told
Congratulations
us.
to him.
Yes, he did, and it's one of the things that I really hold
dear to
because you see, that is considering your children. That is, na ukiconsider wazazi wa hiyo time, most of them didn't care. Wewe unakuja tu home unapata kama baba yako alikuwa na bibi, ndio huyo muite mom. Unaona, and it was so, I think also because the love that our dad gave us, it was the transition then was very smooth.
Was quite smooth.
Yeah, during that time it was very smooth. There wasn't anything that we did not refuse. Now the interesting part about it, why it was even easier, it's funny thing that my stepmom actually has some similarities with my mom. They actually looked alike.
Men like the same thing.
They
always
do.
say men like the same thing. People always say with myself, I say, it's men. The idea of beautiful doesn't change much.
It doesn't, by the way. It doesn't. So you see,
much.
even seeing her and seeing my mom, it actually it blended. It actually just blended. Yani iliwork tu, alafu tunafeel unajua tunajua vizuri sana mama yetu alikufa, because that was very clear. And then mnaletewa mtu mwenye anafanana mama yenyu. So it wasn't hard.
What do you
the
think,
beginning wasn't hard.
Between you and your brothers, who was more receptive? So it is you.
Definitely. I think all of us then, because you see we were still young, 9 years, 9 and 7 and then 10. Wezi sema ati kuna, siwezi sema, as far as I remember, I think all of us were receptive. And now my dad, he came back because he used to work far away, so he came back.
He came closer he came to Nairobi. Now because of his children. Wow. That is a success story right there. That blended families do work.
Yes.
And you yourself, how did you end up in a blended family? Because she's in one. That's this is a unique scenario.
A very unique one.
Ulijikuta hapo hata wewe
hata mimi.
So that now you look at your father and say na kuunderstand.
So okay, mimi nilijikuta hapo by choice. The choices that we make in life.
Ni vizuri umeitikia. Sema mimi kama mimi nilijituma. Ukajituma.
I don't blame anyone. I blame my choices.
So ulichukua miguu yako kafanya nini?
Having lost my mom at a young age, for me it affected definitely there are traumas that I had, but it affected me in the positive side, wanting to be a mom.
Wow.
So when I cleared campus, immediately I cleared campus.
21, 22, 23.
22.
Damu ni moto.
So the first person who told me like the guy I liked, I actually, what I'm saying, I actually loved. Si hata nyingi.
Hakuna mtu ana ex Nairobi, tulisema hakuna makasiriko.
Hakuna makasiriko. Tulikuwa tunapendana na yeye, hata yeye at his young age na experiences zake alikuwa anataka bibi na mimi huyo. Nikaona hii Nairobi, wacha hata mimi nikuwe na familia.
Ukaona put together.
But then I always say it was out of trauma.
Why would you say?
Because by then the situation home definitely wasn't really conducive. So mimi in my mind I was like, I'd rather get married than go back home.
Okay.
You see, I'd rather have my family than go back home. And then huyu mse mwenye ananikatia si ati niketi ni mtu akona shida. So
akwa na shida. Na sasa wewe
so ninajambia I'd rather he's good looking.
You're clearly an overthinker. Ulikuwa umefikiria zote. You're clearly an overthinker because kuna points. You had really calculated. Your math was mathing.
My math was mathing 100%. You know, when you meet this guy who is young, he's 24. You're 22, he's 24, he's driving, he's living in Ruaka, he has a 2-bedroom house. Yes.
Alikuwa anafanya kazi gani? I hope kazi legit, tusiseme kazi.
Alikuwa anafanya kazi legit, by the way. Then he was actually a chef.
Sasa chakula ulikuwa unakula mzuri.
Sasa alafu akwambia anataka bibi.
Na wewe ni nani?
Na mimi ni nani?
Ukafanya nini?
Nikaingia na miguu yote mbili. But definitely such relationships, now we know, and now you know, even you see younger people wanting to get in relationship na jambo. I would want to say what Benjamin Zulu says, hata hawajakauka mendula omblangata huku kichwa ijakauka. Yet at 22 you there, you want to
tena ujongea vizuri. Hata bi 22 ndo nilienda kufanya kazi ya charity. Please jongea.
Hajakauka.
Nikipata tutakata. 22 is what I went to say yes to Mike. Please. Mimi nilikuwa nimekauka kichwa wewe.
Uko umekauka hivyo ndivyo unajambia. So
I'll remember you at 12 video and I'm like, you did not wewe.
Kuna watu ukijembe ulikuwa umekauka kitu au uko umekauka.
That's it. So I stayed true to my decision.
To your decision.
Kama iliuma.
You did. So anyway, but it was actually when it began, it was good. It was good. Tulikuwa tumekanishana vizuri. But definitely kuna zile red flags zenye uliona ukaignore because you tend to think that someone can change. You tend to think when someone speaks about something
or whatever you
they
see,
will not do it.
When you get married, amplify by 100 and let's see if you can live with it.
Yes. Now we know. Now we know. So that is how we moved in together.
Mama Natalie
together and got pregnant immediately.
Huko unapoteza time.
Hata acha nikwambie, mimi nasemanga hivi, we actually dated for 1 month.
We did how long?
1 month.
30 days? Okay.
Nika move in kwake na nikapata mimba hiyo mwezi.
Si watu wakwage honest hivi. Si watu ni vizuri kujikubali.
And it was actually planned. It wasn't even, mimi nasemanga it wasn't, we were both November babies, so we decided to get pregnant in February so that our child can come in November.
Mulipanga?
Yes.
Okay. Then wapangaji kukaenda aje?
And it happened. Sometimes God is interesting. Junior anapeananga watoto. It's interesting. I didn't struggle. Beginning of Feb 2013, by end of Feb, I remember on 28th akiniambia nipime, na mwambia mimi sihitaji kupima ball. Juu ninajua sijawahi kosa kuroll. I knew 100% I was pregnant.
Mtu anishikilia.
And that is how I got pregnant, and that is how 2013 was a really good year for us. Nini and
because you both wanted your babies.
Yes, as in if you look at that's why I say I relationship inaweza kwa niliingia then na trauma but sikuforsiwa, sikuamka asubuhi nikajipata I'm pregnant, it's something that
you wanted both wanted.
Okay. But definitely kuna hizo hearts zenye tu huko unaona. Yes. So 2013 and my daughter came in November.
She's a Scorpio.
Yeah.
Scorpio.
Mimi ni wa November na then hata yeye alikuwa wa November. My ex alikuwa November babies.
So you went in, you wanted your baby?
Yes.
Okay.
And we were good. So definitely relationship inaendelea. Mambo zinaanza fast forward, mambo zinaanza kukua nini. Kenye ulikuwa umeona inaanza kuhappen. And I say because there are some things I always knew. I always say that I've always been a woke person. Mimi nilikuwa naambia watu tangu kitambo hata nikiwa high school, mimi uwezi nibeba ufala. I think just the way we grew up. So there are things I knew that I can't stand even in a relationship. And one of them was you lifting your hand and hitting me. And it's something I always made clear.
Okay.
So it actually happened. I knew it will happen because if there's something I always know, that if someone says something with their mouth, please be very careful because they will do it to you. Even when you listen to people having a discussion, unajua tukihave hapa discussion na wewe kitu unasema mimi nangoja tu kidogo hivi niende. Trust me, you will go. If you are planning to leave your marriage or you're planning even to leave a friendship or anything, you will go. So even the conversations he used to have when they're talking and you hear his friends, he will say that. Will actually say that. And so ninajiambia, this will happen to me. And it actually happened, but it happened it was a series of so many things, a series of cheating,
and you're all young at that time. I think all young, like you said, traumatized. The relationship just didn't work, and you decided to move on.
I just decided, after a 2.5 years, I walked away. I was like, this is not working for me, so I walked away. So from the word go, because I knew the possibility. I knew. Okay,
ulijua tarudi soko, so ulijua possibility ya blended family.
Siwezi mind kurudi huku, but nilikuwa najiambia not unless Mungu afanye miujiza, because I knew I wouldn't go back to the same situation expecting something to change. Different. You see the way people want to pretend that unafikiria kuna kitu inaweza badilika, lakini kama by the way not unless his father the creator atambadilisha.
Yes.
Otherwise hakuna kitu yenye ita change.
So you parted ways amicably?
Yeah, definitely amicably. Definitely ni watoto tu mkona upuzi mingi, but we parted ways and we never got to get back together.
And so now here you are, a single mom, and now finding yourself in a blended family, which you are one.
Yes.
So then you met your new partner and you are now a blended family.
Yeah. So I found myself, I will say I like after I think 3 months after I got out of my relationship, I actually went through a very traumatic incident, story of another day.
Save another day.
Yes, and so I found God. He found me. God will always there. He found me. Because if he didn't find me then, I say to date, I don't think I would have been alive. So he actually found me. So yeah, and that is how I began my journey, my healing journey, and learning to love myself, learning to look back and see my mistakes, what I did wrong,
contributed to the relationship.
What contributed to the relationship failing, what contributed to me getting there early, you know, like as in at an early age. So I actually walked this journey for, let me say, 6 years.
Wow.
As in 6 years, and then 9 years till I got married. Now I got married. Ile ingine naitanga come we try.
Oh, mulikuwa mna come we
try. Haikuangi stay. Sababu stay unafaa kukaa.
Only come we try.
Wacha to change you. Watu wanasemanga come we stay. But kama ni stay, unafaa ku stay. So why did you leave?
Tulikuwa tuna try. Sasa hii ukapata mtu akakupeleka down the aisle.
Yes.
Now you
haikuwa optional. Wacha tuniseme hivyo. Haikuwa optional because now I actually stayed for over 6 years, loving me, healing me, bringing up my child to the best of my ability. And being loved by God. Actually, I tell people, if you look back at my photos before, in 2016 I bought rings. I bought 2 rings. They're still 2 za metal, mzuri tu, and I wore them on my, as in I've always been a ring lover. I remember when growing up my dad used to get mad about it, so nilibuy ring mbili, moja ya hapa, and I wore them on my left hand, and I told God I will wear these rings and I will love myself until I can find a man who can love you like you love me, who can love me like you love me. So watu walikuwa naona ring zangu, every joker sent by the enemy anarudi kwenye alitoka. Sababu anafikiria
think you're married.
Yes, they think they are married. Actually my rings put off so many people. And then ongeza niko na mtoto. So mtoto akikuona tu maybe peke yake hivi, alafu anakuona na ring, alafu anakuona mtoto wako
Liantuaenda. I hear very things, so yeah, it's very sharp to a ring.
Image hiyo imeenda. And yeah, I did that for the longest. I enjoyed my singlehood.
You enjoyed being single.
I loved taking care of my child. I have raised her. I have raised her to the best of my ability. She's one of the, maybe you'll meet her someday. She's an amazing child. She's an amazing girl. And I took, you see, just because I went through a breakup in a relationship, as I said from the beginning, I always wanted to be a mom. So nothing changed that. In fact,
you became more intentional.
I am an entrepreneur by choice. And one of the reasons I do that, Kate, is because I want to raise my kids. Mimi nasema mimi default yangu ilikuwa positive ya kulose madhi.
Yes.
I want to be there. I want to see them wake up and crawl. I want to be there, spend all the time, and I did that for my daughter. So your time ilikuwanga mimi na yeye. No one in my life like introduce kwa anyone,
because you were careful.
I was very careful because I know I have seen. I used to tuko huko nje, you see when single ladies wanakosana na watu, you just want to go and live a life that is just, but at the end of the day you are affecting this child. And I never wanted my daughter to be traumatized. So until my husband saw me.
Current?
Yes.
Sindio hapa ndio tumesema tunakaa only.
Hata sio current, ni only.
Ni permanent.
The husband.
The husband. So did the husband also come with children?
Yeah, he was also from a previous relationship.
You're fully blended.
Mimi nilikuwa najua nitakuwa blended, so nikijiambia blended wangu na sasa maybe mwenye atakuja. But you see, also having in mind that I already had a kid, I never had specifications in life where I am saying mimi sitaki mtu mwanaume akona watoto, because anyway I wouldn't even have such a right to say that while I have my own child.
True.
Because you see, at the end of the day, this child, if a man comes into my life, they will have to be in this child's life. So automatically I was a blended family then. But my husband had 2 children.
Blended fully
blended.
We hapo ndio ninatolea kofia. Hapo ndio mimi nashuka stage. Hiyo ilikuwa moto. 100 kwa 100. Sasa wewe umekuja na wako, yeye amekuja na wangapi? Unajua lazima uchore hii picture, watu wengi they get confused. So umekuja na
mmoja.
Na yeye amekuja na
2.
Afu kaenda kufanya nini?
Sasa ndio huyo ninaleta mwingine.
Sasa mko wangapi?
4.
Sasa you grew up in a blended family. Now you're in a blended family yourself.
Yeah.
What are some of the issues that stick through, that are very clear to you, or some of the graces that now you can extend to your own blended family first? What do you see differently now that you're in one, now that you understand sometimes relationships don't work? Because I think you've had both ways. One, your mom passed on, so it's not like your mom wasn't there. And number 2, you've gone through a blended family through where the relationship didn't work out. So what kind of graces are you able to extend to your current husband, to your dad, to your stepmom, to your step siblings? I think even today I'm learning. How is it when you remove yourself now as in a blended family, your dad, and now your mom was your stepmom, now your husband's children, you're their stepmom. What are the graces?
Graces ni mingi. First one, at least from my own family. Now from my own family, the interesting thing is that we are all adults. And I will say that I know the main parent in any blended family, like the co-parent ule mwenye biological, to some point yeye ndio ana settingi atmosphere.
Okay.
Because if you get to a man who has children, it's the man to set the atmosphere of how, wewe ndio umeleta bibi. This man is the one who's supposed to set the atmosphere of how this woman may relate with this,
how you love
with
them,
the children, how you love
how
them,
you value
even though
children.
it may never be. Kuna hiyo saying ya Kikuyu sijui inasemanga nyungu ya mtu mwingine haiwezi pikwa na mtu mwingine. So but my dad was very constant and very intentional about us, even as siblings, because now I had my stepmom came with a son, so I have a
breaks. Koja kidogo. When I say everyone in Nairobi is in a blended family, it is not a joke. Unko witnesses. So your dad she came with one. And your dad had 3. And your mom had 3 children.
So
alafu wao wakatengeneza
2.
6.
Yes. So okay. I have 1 step brother and 2 half siblings.
Okay.
So and my brother was young. My step bro was very young. But when he came, like, pia the same mdogo aliblend
joined, actually cemented
kabisa
the relationship.
And now my dad allowed us, like, if there's something my dad did is we love each other
as children.
Hakunanga, by the way, hakuna. Even if I will show you photos of both of my brothers, you wouldn't believe. Nikikwambia sisi ni blended family, you will not believe it, by the way. Even when because now we are 4 girls, 2 boys. When tumepigwa picha hivi na mzai, you will actually think, nikwambie uko aje. Because my dad cemented us together. And always, even when issues arose, even in our family, because definitely growing up, kwanza tukifika teenagers unaanza kufeel entitled, unaanza kufeel, unajua huyu mwanamke anakuambia nini, you will definitely have that. It comes with the hormones, it comes with everything. Na ukichwa ngumu yote,
trauma, there's a lot.
It comes with everything. A lot of things. But my dad always reminded us,
your siblings, I'm your father.
Yes, I am your father, and these are your siblings.
And this is my choice, my wife.
And this is my dad has always been very clear about that. And he says it, I will say it in his word, huyu sio mama yenyu, ni bibi yangu.
Si mama yenu ni bibi
yangu.
Uende ukatafute wako, ulipe dari uowe wako.
Yes. You see, like hata msiposikizana, mimi ndio baba yenu. I am the main center here.
Ingine ni kwa mzuri, lakini kama
haiko mzuri
mtapambana.
Because you see, this is the wife that I chose, this is the mother to my kids, this is the mother to your siblings. And that has always been, even so with the ups and down,
he's been firm, the constant.
Kabisa to date. So at least hiyo ilitusaidia sana, and it gave me a lot of confidence, it gave me a lot of grace, even being able to express ourselves, and it has made us love each other, because me and my siblings love each other. Even I will actually say even my stepmom, it's life. Where I am right now, I know it's life,
because now she came in as a single mom.
Yeah, we all love her, and even to date, hata tukikuwa na hizo mavurugano,
ni kawaida,
we still call her mom. Nothing has ever changed because ni kawaida. We will grow up and definitely you will feel kitu anakwambia haifai, but now it helps you to be able to look at other people and extend that grace to them. And extend grace even to your siblings and to your dad, and you look back and you're like, I clap for Mr. Karaoke.
We clap for him.
We clap for him.
And Mrs. Karaoke, Mrs. Karaoke,
even Mrs. Karaoke, she has done well. It is not easy. Watoto sita amemvumilia proper.
Lakini Karaoke zimezidi, hata wangu alikuwa sita, kwani hiyo ni plan.
So,
you see the grace that you have and being able to openly talk about it. At any point through this journey, did you feel any societal stigmas growing up? Did you have to explain, this is my stepmom and then now I'm in a blended family? Have you ever felt stigma in a certain way?
I wouldn't say I felt stigma, because having in mind that we were nothing would have shown anyone that we are not that we are a blended family, because first sisi truth ni hatujawahi teswa kid. So I wouldn't sit and say like the society would look at us and say kuna kitu imehappen ametufanyia, and that one is still thanks to my dad, because my dad actually, he told us after we cleared Form 4 that when he decided to remarry, because he takes 1 or 2 beers, he says he was outside the bar and he looked up the skies and told God that if I ever remarry, I will never want the society to look at my children and say, I wish their mother was alive.
Okay.
And true to the word kid, it is evident. Si tukienda mahali tukijintroduce, babangu anasemanga na nini Karaoke, and it's me, mimi ndio Mr. Karaoke, because God answered his prayer. Nobody will look at me, my brother and my sister
and feel sorry for
us. No,
you're not a charity case.
No, we are not, because he did his best. He has done it for all of our siblings,
even your siblings. Hata ule mamako alikuja naye across board,
all of them. In fact, he actually, huyo hata aliadoptiwa, like alipewa jina ya mzai, akona jina ya mzai.
Karaoke ni wa dangerous.
So for us, I never felt the stigma in terms of me growing up,
because like it was very clear your dad lost your mom, your dad remarried, this is a blended family, and it was okay. And no one made you feel like you didn't belong. You felt you belonged.
I felt I belong. Iyo kabisa. I don't think I ever felt any stigma, because you see, ndio nasema it's easier. Honestly, it's easier when your mom is no longer alive, because when your mom is alive, utapata
it hurts, to be honest, when you know that your biological parent is somewhere and doesn't want to raise you or take part in your life. It really hurts, knowing that they went 6 feet under. I personally alienda, it is not by choice. It's not by choice.
Yes, it's circumstance. So that one I never did.
Okay.
But definitely being a single mom.
Now I was coming to that. Now being a single mom, and now you're married and you have your husband who has kids, and now it's your own blended family. What would you say that you gained from your father's blended family that has helped you navigate through what you're currently in, which is a blended family, because you knew automatically you'll have one. You are a single mom, you are young, and you knew you would remarry again.
So many things, by the way.
Please,
so
many.
Yeah,
answer.
So many things.
Number one,
you don't get to be choosy.
Okay.
You don't get to judge other people, because you know that you also deserve grace. The same way someone else's deserve grace, you do.
Okay.
You understand, you get to understand that relationships don't work, because at the end of the
Not
day,
even
time. My stepmom, si hata yeye alikuwa na mtoto.
Alikuwa mtu wa mtu.
Alikuwa mtu wa mtu.
Hakuna mtu amengojea, akakaa hata kama Mike angengoja, lakini nilikuwa form 1. So you see, relationships sometimes don't work, and it is okay.
Yeah. So I knew that was very, very easy for me, and I also knew that the fact that I wouldn't say I really went through motherly love is in our bonus family, like in our blended family. I wouldn't put it that I experienced motherly love. My dad did everything for us.
So he stood in the gap.
Yes. Okay. And you see, having the fact that there was a woman, definitely there were expectations for me as a child, but I never felt that. But one thing I knew, because I knew for a fact, is that I will one day be in a blended family. That one I knew. Whether nilikuwa najua maybe bwana yangu atakuwa na watoto ama ni mimi. So I knew that if I ever be a stepmom to any children,
you're going to do the right thing.
I need to. Mimi nilikuwa najiambia I will do well by those kids, that they will actually wish there was their mother. I am sorry, but I know I can never be that. I would want to be that good. I would want to be that good to them, because
that is the confidence you bring to the table. You'd be so good that they want me to be their mother.
Yes, they wakifunga macho hivi wako like, hey, okay, mtu anajiambia vile tunaambianga uzazi ni kulea.
Uzazi ni kulea. Sikuzaa.
Ni kulea, because I missed that. And I wouldn't want any child to experience that. And I knew that. And one of the other things that I know, Kate, is no child. We bring these children into this world. So kukuja kwa familia iko na mama mlevi ama baba mlevi
ama watu wamekosana,
it is not their fault. It is not their fault. So nobody should ever treat a child anyhowly ama with malice and hate because of the parent, because you chose your spouse. You decided to have a kid with that drunk man, with that man who batters you. But umtoi hakuwa na choice. So I really wanted to, so nilikuwa najiambia I will be
a good stepmom,
no matter how much. And then I know I have a big heart. Kuna zile vitu zenye unaambiango, when you know you know. I have a big heart and I am loyal. So I can't hate someone's kids. And I knew that I will love, if I ever get a man who has kids, I know I will love them, whether wanakaa huko na mama yao ama watakaa na sisi. Either way,
you still love them.
I still love him.
Even and now you love your stepchildren.
You can separate. Yeah, you can separate.
Blood and
you see,
blood
even me, everyone who knows me, Shiko, Mama Natalie. You can separate me and my daughter. So even when I get to love a man who has kids,
children,
hawa wanawake wenye wanatakanga kupenda mwanaume unakosa kupenda watoto, you're lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself, because these kids have,
like telling someone to act, kubali right, wachana na left hand uchukue right hand. Haiwezekani. So you can't make someone pick between you and their children. We can all coexist. We can all be happy.
You can't.
And the, the place that your child has with your husband is not the same place that your child has with you. It's not the same feelings. We are not even competing, because to your husband, the child, and you're the wife. So there's no competition.
So I knew that I would love them. If I told myself, definitely, if God gives me a man who has kids, I will love those kids.
And you love them.
And I love them.
And God has said to bless you with another one. Now this is cemented.
Inashikanisha hii, inaweka stamp.
Inasema KB inaitwa nini stamp? Kenya Bureau of Standards. And when it comes to, you carry it with so much grace. You're so happy. There's so much acceptance. It's a breath of fresh air to see someone being able to share their story, being vulnerable. You are in a blended family. You grew up well. Your dad loved you. Your stepmom tried the best she could, because you're a stepmom now and you know it's not easy. It's sometimes you're doomed if you do, you're doomed if you don't.
Yes.
Now you're wearing those shoes, but you're determined to do a good job.
Yes, I am.
You look at your dad, you respect your dad, you respect his choice.
Very, very. I do. And I say that I know my dad is an example of no man can tell me that you will not do something because of your wife. No.
So but also if you're a good human being and you're adding value to this person's life, there is no way you can encourage someone to not love their children.
Yeah,
it's so possible.
How?
It's so possible.
Like how do you just get
if
to
you
sleep?
have his interest
what
at
makes
heart?
You think? Me, I tell women, what makes you think that a man who will not think at all, okay, men are built different. Sisi ndio tunashughulikianga watoi. Mwanaume anaweza sahau kitu ya mtoto na asahau just naturally. It's not even their fault.
No,
but for you as a woman, that is why I say you are there as a helper, so that you can remind him, because I actually know that these kids are a blessing to his life, and
he has to take responsibility.
Yes, he
has his children. He has to raise them. He has to do right by them.
Yes.
If he can't do right by them, what do you think? How do you think he'll do right by yours? So yeah.
So even those women who think like that, na waangalianga hivi na wahurumia. A woman who will want to be with a man who is not taking care of his own kids, ama who doesn't even care. It's one thing for someone to be in a position.
Zinaitwa red, double red, triple red flag.
Tunaonanga ikiwa pink saa zingine.
Mnaona ikiwa
pink
kabaigwa na ni red kama lipstick.
Wanaona ikiwa pink.
Hakuna kitu kama hiyo.
These women they are like, you're trying to justify, but yeah.
I like the fact that you've embraced your journey. You're able to speak about it, and we will share her Instagram page. I know she's soon going to be a new mom, because 11 years unasikia unafanya tena fresh. It's not easy, but reaching out, I like showing people examples. You're an example, I'm an example, speaking on it and saying it can work, it can be positive. Children grow. Look at you and your siblings, your step siblings.
We grow.
You grow, and your friends. I'm sure you have different relationship with each of your siblings in your own way.
Kabisa.
In your own
100%.
I'm sure that even sometimes you gang up against your parents.
Vibaya sana.
6 out of 2.
They write the message and then forward it to each other. In fact, I don't know.
This is siblings.
Baba yako amekupigia simu. We actually call my dad that. Baba yako amekupigia simu. Wewe unaitwa na baba yako.
I see that a lot. I see that a lot with Sean and his siblings, and I enjoy it, and I'm happy to see it. And just being able to love each other. The way you've accepted your husband, the way he's accepted you. I'm sure now you look back and you truly get your father.
I do.
You truly get him.
I do.
He did a wonderful job.
He did an amazing job.
That's when maybe you're that confident.
Sijui nitakutumia kaka podcast tuone.
Dad lazima mtumie podcast.
Lazima nimtumie podcast tuone.
Na tulisema tutakuwa tunatuma salamu before tumalize ndio weke last statement. Tuma salamu. Unataka kusalimia nani?
Unataka kusalimia
hapa. Unasalimia hapa. Watoto wanataka kusalimia, Mr. B Karaoke.
Mr. Pasquale Karaoke. Kwale. Hata jina ni unique Karaoke.
Na tutakusalimia
kutoka east side ya Westlands.
Na wengine?
Na all my siblings and my husband and my daughter Natalie.
Mzee ningeshangaa kama hujamwambia, ningekuita umemwambia.
Siwezi kosa kumwambia.
Husband. Amesema afanye kitu tena.
Ni hivyo.
Hapo ana choice.
Akuangalia
muangaliane.
Lazima.
Yes. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. Thank you so much for coming on this episode. I'm so happy to hear that sometimes you think you're alone. Sometimes, and the truth to our audience, sometimes it's tough. It's tough, it's dark, it's difficult, acceptance is hard. Vile unasema kujita mkutano, saa zingine unajita mkutano.
And it's not even easy. It's not easy getting into a blended family when the other partner is there.
Oh yeah, but also you will be shocked on the other side that it is harder sometimes when the partner is not alive. You know why? They idolize the one who's passed on. So it means the present will never reach the standard of the one who passed on.
Lakini ninaweza sema hivyo, lakini having grown in one naweza sema pia it is up to also unaweza kosa kufika hizo standards. But anytime umeletwa kwa familia sio comparison. And one of the things nitasema mimi out of experience, it's not comparison between who was there and who was not there, especially if they are not alive. You as the woman should bring up what you're supposed to bring, like you should play your part in the family. For me, that is what I will say. Because most of the time the reason a husband will really remember the wife if ni kama kenye ana go through iko opposite ya ile side nyingine. But hauwezi compare bibi yako wa kwanza mwenye alipass na huyu mwingine, lakini mnaweza come to maybe hata tuseme hiyo 40-50. Because definitely huyu akona kitu yenye huyu hakuwa nayo. But you complement each other. But the other thing about it is you can never we can never be able to compare. But also you can do better. Me, I will say right now, if you're a stepmom there, you can do better.
You can do better. Trust me, when the children grow, here is an example of one who's grown. I know what I say in your
sasa sisi wote tumetoka home. Wamebaki huko wakiwa peke yao.
Wamebaki
huko peke yao, sasa kwenye wako sasa wako wawili peke yao. Sisi tulishatoka.
Mtoto wanakuwa na wanaenda.
Do better by your husband. If you're a man or a lady, do better by yourself, do better by those children.
Yes.
Because also the truth of the matter is when we grow up, we are the ones who will take care of you.
Ni ukweli. So treat watoto vizuri, but you still don't do tit for tat because children honor your parents.
Yes, honor your parents, but do not allow them to go through so much hurt.
You don't need, it's not necessary.
It's not necessary.
Life is already hard as it is.
It's already hard as it is. And even when you receive and if you make that choice, you've
said it again. You've made that choice.
I made a choice to have my husband in my life with kids. The same way to Aline accept na Natalie. And because I prayed about it. Exactly. Because I prayed about it. My husband has a very beautiful relationship with my daughter.
Wow.
And it was a very smooth transition by the way, Kate. It
so
was.
In short, wanaweza ku-ex, wanakupangiaga wewe ndio unakuwa
wakiwa wawili.
Wako nje.
Wakiwa wawili. Basi sasa sahi huyu mwenye anakuja wataona ngumu.
Huyu ndio atakuwa saidi yako.
Atakuwa saidi yangu.
Unaweza shtuka ukiona alikuwa 3 kubaki 1. So kuja pole.
Nakwambia ni ngumu. So the transition is smooth and it's possible. And blended families are happening and they are beautiful.
Oh, they're beautiful.
Even in our country, we should embrace. We should keep on having meetings and talks, and us, loving on each other as women, loving and supporting each other.
Oh yes, because I'm going to tafuta mtu uongee na yeye, uvent halafu rudi back kwa blended family. Ni ukweli. And sometimes you tell your friends and you are afraid that they're going to judge you. Do they understand? So support groups need to be there. To be honest, they need to.
Yeah.
Because it takes a while before you fully blend. But it will happen.
A while. But it will happen.
It will happen.
It definitely will. Alafu hata kitu ni watu wengi hawajui, wacha tuniseme kabla tumalize kitu. Hata Yesu alikuwa kwa blended family.
Yesu? Aje?
Baba yake alikuwa nani? Baba yake alikuwa nani?
Joseph.
Mungu. Alafu si Joseph na Mary walipata watoto wengine.
Ukweli?
Si ukweli. He was not born by Joseph. He was born by Mary.
Took me a while to get what you're saying.
He was actually in a blended family. He was conceived by God.
Thank you for being on my show. You're such a happy soul. Jona mtu mwenye akona mtoto kwa hii miezi na anacheka hivi. Can imagine. Such a happy soul. Thank you for coming and sharing your story and encouraging us. You know, it's nice even me to know. Unaweza enda pali umwambie kuja tukule nyama tuongee historia alafu turudi nyumbani.
No.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
So share your page. We will. Sasa tumekuweka kwa support group. Ukisikia na ukidm ukose kureply.
Siwezi kosa kureply. Mbona nisitaki support group na ninajua ndio inatujenga. Because I'm still learning. So you know me, I'm new. Ndasema wewe umekuwa.
Mimi ni chuma ya zamani.
Wewe uko na muscles. Uko na
17 years.
So you see tuko nyuma. Tuko nyuma na tunajua tutafika.
Thank you so much.
I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you.
Yes.
You're most welcome. Hata mimi leo nimetoka kwa hii podcast na niambia ukweli. Roho yangu inasikia hata mimi nimepewa moyo. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Most welcome.
Really appreciate you and
tutakuendelea
kufanya hii kitu. Sio kubebisha watu tulishafanya kitu ni kukuja
kushugia mwana. Tutakuja mimi nitakuja.
Karibu. I will hold you to your word. Nasema tu hivi.
Niko hapa ni lawyer ata make sure nimekuja.
Unajua hii iko on record.
Nimemsikia jina mingi I think hata idea yake ni kameifisha. Anaitoka kila mahali. But thank you for having me. Yeah, we'll love to when you'll come back again.
I will.
Support groups will. Mtoto wakifika teenagers unakuja huko.
Na kabisa.
Thank you. Until next time guys. Bye bye.